Ice Beast has some really great moments to the point where I am happy to recommend this. But this shouldn't have been a feature film, and it's just feature length at about 50 minutes. This should have been a 15-minute short, maybe not even 15 minutes, and I will expand on why I feel like that, but the point there is that I do recommend it. If you do start watching it and realise not much happens, stick with it because it becomes pretty interesting, but it didn't need to be 50 minutes. This was released in 2016, it's directed by Ashley Hayes Wright, written by Wright, David Owen Wright and Jaina Wright, with a cast including Jaina Wright and David Owen Wright, and this was quite interesting for me to discover because I've seen a lot of the Wright family films and they're usually very different to this. So this was something, well, a little bit different and I was really excited about it. And as I said, despite the fact that it had no real reason to be a 50-minute film, it was actually pretty good. It's about a young woman who is wandering around in the snow looking at these patches of blood, which does look great. The blood against the snow, it looks fantastic, it looks convincing, but there is no dialogue. She's obviously on her own and there's nothing to interact with other than a lot of snow. And when I say the narrative doesn't move forward for a very long time, I do mean that. And they could have condensed the first half an hour into 5 minutes. So if this had been a short film, it would have been a really strong experience. I'm not going to say what happens after that point and what happens towards the end, but as I said, I do think it's worth it. On the plus side, this is gorgeous to look at. It is so stunning. The snow is so crisp, the blood that we see really pops, the lighting is great, the location is beautiful, the music is really nice, there's some good camera work, and we have a good performance there as well. The issue is simply the narrative does not move for a tremendously long time. And when it does move, something I think is awesome and a lot of fun happens. But it had no business being a feature film. I don't know if there's a specific reason why they wanted it to be a feature film. I know obviously certain films have to be a certain length to be entered for awards and things. I don't know if that was their thinking, but in terms of the viewing experience, it's stunning to look at. The music is nice, the performance is good, the concept is interesting, but nothing happens for a tremendous amount of time. So I do recommend it, but stick with it. And as background company, absolutely perfect choice because it's really pleasant, and if you dip in and out of it, you're really not going to miss anything, but you can still enjoy the visual quality. So I recommend it, but I will understand if somebody says they didn't enjoy it. But personally, I think it's worth sitting through because the good bits are very well done. It just needed either a lot more work to be a feature film. It's not that it couldn't be. It's not that it didn't have potential. There are plenty of films where we have minimal protagonists, not a lot going on, but they manage to make it work. Often through a few narrative progressions, some thought-provoking dialogue, things like that. Obviously, none of that is here. So it could have been stronger as a feature film. It could have been an incredibly strong short film. As it stands, it's still a decent experience.